So you might think you can fake it until you make it, but I promise you, people will know the difference when you're authentic and when you're not. Trust is the foundation of all successful relationships, of all successful teams. It is the foundation that will make your team continue to go. And the number one thing that will add to trust in your organization is you being authentic as a leader. When people trust you, it impacts how you communicate. It impacts the things that you talk about. It impacts the ability for them to actually question you or raise ideas, because as the team leader, you want the input from your team. But if they're only taking direction from you, what if you have an idea that might not work out and nobody's willing to speak up, and so you go forward with it and mistakes are made and costs are incurred? But when people are willing to say, hey, what if, or have you thought of, without you shutting them down, you are going to have so many more options. But they have to trust you in order to do that. You want people to be able to speak up even though it's uncomfortable. You want to make sure that they have no fear of reprisals. You want to make sure that they have the ability to actually make mistakes. A lot of organizations are fearful to make mistakes because there is no trust on the team. The trust from the leader isn't there. And I ask leaders a lot of the times, is trust earned or given? And so often I hear the response, it's earned. I only trust you when you prove yourself. Well, that's problematic, isn't it? Think about it for just a moment. If you only give trust when it's earned, how can somebody that's brand new actually earn your trust? They don't have that opportunity yet. The answer is you got to have both. You've got to be able to give people some trust. Obviously, somebody who's new to the organization, you're not going to give them the keys to the kingdom. Think about your children. You know, they turn 16 and all of a sudden they want to take the family car and go for a drive wherever they want. There's a process. You give them the keys, but you ride with them in the beginning. You make sure that they have the skills and the understanding to manage the equipment that you have. And over time, you give them more and more trust. But you have to give them some to begin with. You have to let them have the keys and turn the ignition before they ever have the ability to drive without you. You have to have both. And part of authentic leadership is creating an environment that allows people to step up and demonstrate that you can trust them and that they are trustworthy. As an authentic leader, you're going to create the conditions on the team where mutual trust will grow. So I have 6 amazing characteristics of an authentic leader that you're going to want to hear. Before I get to those, make sure you stop and subscribe right now to this channel so you make sure you get all the information on being an effective leader. The number one characteristic of an authentic leader is demonstrating passion and enthusiasm for your purpose. You on your team are creating an environment where people are excited to come to work every day because of your enthusiasm. And what's amazing about that is our attitudes are catching almost like a virus. And when you're excited and enthusiastic, other people catch that. It's like we're wired for Wi-Fi. We have these spindle mirror neurons that really just capture each other's enthusiasms or even our negative attitudes. So when you're demonstrating that positive passion, people are going to be really excited to be with you. So number 2, you practice your values consistently. This is so important. If you say a value is important to you and you don't live it, how important of a value is it really? If you say that integrity is important, yet you bend the rules from time to time, what will happen is that you'll create a cognitive dissonance with your team. They won't believe you. And what does that do to trust? It erodes that trust. When you live in alignment with who you say you are and what you say you believe, people trust you. They know that you're going to do what you say you're going to do. They know you're going to behave in ways that you say you're going to behave. And it gives you more moral authority to help them to do the exact same thing. Number 3, lead with your heart and your head. Obviously, we get to use our knowledge and our information and everything that we've learned. But sometimes that's not enough. Sometimes we can get so task-focused that we forget to connect to people. We forget the emotion or the heart. We get to use both the head and the heart. And when we do that, we increase the trust on the team and we become more of that authentic leader. Number 4, establish long-term, meaningful relationships. So a great example of this is the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs, who just played in the recent Super Bowl. The coach is Andy Reid. He is somebody that players love to play for. He cares about them. He gets to know them. He gets to know their families. He knows the names of their spouses. He knows the names of their children. He knows what's going on in their lives, so that when he has to have tough conversations, they know that he cares about them. And he can have those tough conversations and make great changes. That's a great example of authentic leadership. Number 5, have the self-discipline to get results. You're in business. The purpose of being in business is to get results. But when you do this with integrity, when you do this consistently, when you're willing to do the work, you will set the example for your team. They will follow you. If you expect your team to work hard yourself. Don't get distracted. Allow yourself to focus on those activities that win. People want to be part of a winning team. And so this is what will help you to also increase the trust on the team. Number 6, authentic leaders know who they are. They know their strengths. They know their opportunities for improvement. They're self-aware. They also know the strengths of their team, and they understand the dynamics and where they have opportunities to improve that team interaction. These 6 things, if you develop them, you will become a more authentic leader and increase the trust on your team. If you want more information on how to build a high-performing team, click on our video here and you will get all kinds of great information.